Well, welcome to it then. It is the Sweet Spot, brought to you by the Racing Post in association with AK Bets. And back on the punter's bag is the award-winning golf tipster, the man that is in form, is Steve Palmer. Steve, week away, how was it?
Yeah, I needed a week off, Dave. You know, that was an epic Sunday. Final round of the Open. You tasted the Open watch-along. Quite gruelling, isn't it? And then the World Matchplay Darts final was just after that. And then the Barracuda Championship was just after that. So it was a long Sunday. I was tired and emotional by the end of it. A 2 a.m. finish, pinching myself because I couldn't believe how well it had all gone. Literally thought I was dreaming. But yeah, absolutely delighted. And yeah, a week of celebrations, Dave.
Well, I know it was a long day for you because I woke up on Monday morning to a WhatsApp message from you at 2 a.m. Which was nice. It was pleasant to wake up to that, Steve. Because obviously we landed the double. Everyone's a winner, and the most important question is: did your boy get his Ghostbuster present?
Yes. But the bad thing about that is it was one of those ones that needed constructing. So one of my main tasks on Tuesday was constructing this great big Ghostbusters car Playmobil thing, and it had little stickers and that, and I wasn't really in good condition for that. But yeah, he's absolutely delighted. Everyone's absolutely delighted. Even people that you don't really know. I mean, Paul Parrott is my new favourite locksmith. Well, he's always been my favourite locksmith. Paul, I needed new locks on my front door, Dave. And Paul Parrott is the man I recruited. He came round and refused to take payment because he'd cleaned up on Xander Schauffele. I didn't want to pay him because he was so happy with how the Open had gone. So, yeah, if you need a good locksmith, Paul Parrott. Brilliant name, brilliant locksmith. So, yeah, delighted for him, delighted for everyone who's cleaned up.
Yeah, I was going to say to you, Steve, I hope you've flicked through the YouTube comments and just enjoyed everyone rejoicing and thanking you for digging that out. But just tell me, how do you go about recruiting a locksmith? Do you not just sort of Google and job done?
Well, it's funny. I had him in 2018 because it's not often you need a locksmith, is it?
True.
But yeah, my son is very sort of active and he breaks a lot of things, if I'm honest. And in 2018, I had Paul Parrott around, and I remember he came round and I wrote a couple of names down for players to bat that week. He was telling me about it. It was Joachim Lagergren in the Sicilian Open and Webb Simpson in the Players' Championship. So he went off and backed them, and then he came back, 6 years later. And he's been following Sweet Spot ever since. He's an avid Sweet Spotter. He'd be watching now. So I had the card in my wallet from 2018, and then rang him up again, and he was euphoric when he turned up. So yeah, I'm delighted for everyone who's got involved. And the important thing for me personally was that sitting on your hands. I don't know if you know that expression. Bruce Millington taught me that one. Yeah, if you after a big win, very important to keep your betting discipline in it, not go bananas. And I just sat on my hands all last week because I knew I wasn't in a good condition. I couldn't do my usual processes on the golf, and I like to have a week off anyway. So I've still got the same amount of money I had this time last week, Dave, which is a huge positive.
Well, I would suggest spending it, Steve. Rather than gambling it, spending it. You can't give it back if you've spent it. So buy as many Ghostbusters toys as you like, and you can't give it back. That is the advice that I would give you. But very sensible approach that Bruce has taught you there, and I agree with that as well. Good stuff.
I couldn't be more sensible. Yeah, people worry about me going bananas. I had all sorts of texts on Monday thinking, "Oh yeah, Steve's just gonna spunk it all." Is that an offensive term?
So
we can let that one go. Yeah, spunky. But I'm not like that anymore. I'm aware of life's challenges a lot more than I used to be. And yeah, I've got my mortgage renewal in December, Dave. And I was worried about that. Like a lot of people, when they're doing their mortgage renewals now with the sort of quasi-quartang interest rate super boost, everyone's really concerned. So I was on a 5-year one, and I haven't had to worry about it for 5 years. So December was looming large, and this has been a godsend to take the pressure off that a little bit. And so yeah, don't worry, Dave. I'm sensible, but I'm ready to attack on this Olympics, I must admit.
Lovely. Yeah, of course, we've just got the one tournament to attack this week, the Olympics, and we'll get on to that. Before we do, of course, we are sponsored by AK Bets, and if you've not got an AK Bets account yet, what have you been doing? Sweet Spot 25 is the code that you want. Open an account, place your first bet on any golf market, win, lose or draw, miscut or not, and you will get 50% of your stake back as a free bet up to £25. Terms and conditions apply there. Sweet Spot 25 is the code. Right, last week we had 3 tournaments. Steve, I don't know if you were across them. You obviously didn't drill down into them beforehand, but did you follow them as they reached their climax?
I caught bits and bobs. I was very active in leisure time last week. I played a lot of golf, played a lot of snooker, went on some water slides. But as the week drew to a close, I got invested in the golf. No, not financially invested, but had a good look at the closing stages. Yeah.
What's your highest break snooker?
It's 37. Yeah. It's not that impressive.
A bit warm for snooker, Steve. I mean, I love snooker, but the club's a sweatbox.
Well, I get a bit of talc in the bridge there. A bit of talc in the bridge. You can't go wrong. But no, I love the atmosphere of the snooker club. It's it just relaxes me being in a snooker club. Yeah, I know you love your snooker, don't you?
Yeah, change place now, the snooker club.
You're gagging for me to ask what's your highest break.
No, I'm not. It's a change place, the snooker club. I grew up in, the haze and the smoke and the mystery of the snooker club, and now it's very quiet, very dark, and a lot of them soulless. So if you could get to your local snooker club, support your local snooker club if you can. Right, let's talk Johnny Vegas and the 3M then. I caught a bit of it. Everyone seemed to shoot a 63 on the Saturday, the third round. I think the first 5 in the leaderboard going into Sunday all shot 63 on Saturday. So it's very much the day in which everyone made their move. Even Matt Kuchar was. We spoke just before we started rolling here, and he's come back to life for this Matt Kuchar. But it was Johnny Vegas who was throwing darts on Sunday, and a very tidy round, barring, I think, did he come together with a police officer at one point?
Yeah, one of his drives got caught in the arm of a police officer. Very amusing moment. You're bound to be able to catch it on the YouTube. He came up towards the police officer and they had to work out a free drop from the crux of his elbow there. It all happened, but we're pleased for Johnny Vegas. I mean, as a neutral last week, I'm pleased. He's one of the good guys, is Johnny Vegas. He was 80-1, but I think some people might have had him because he's sort of been working his way back into form. That was a 7-year victory drought. The 2017 Canadian Open was his last win, but he was second in this tournament in 2021. And as I say, he'd been building towards it. Sunday's win is his 4th PGA Tour title at 39 years of age. And it was that last lag putt that impressed me most, Dave. I mean, there he is, desperate to end this drought, and he's 96 feet away, needing to 2-putt for the trophy. I mean, a 96-foot putt is far from a 2-putt gimme. I was really impressed with that approach putt, and pleased for Johnny Vegas. There was a couple of good guys who won last week. We'll get to the other one in a minute.
Any other takeaways? I mentioned Matt Kuchar, Maverick McNeely was up there as well. Any players that sort of have popped up that you might be on the radar going forward?
I think Max Grazerman needs to be mentioned because he finished runner-up. And similar to Vegas, he's been churning out top 25 finishes in recent weeks. A consistent spell of form. He's up to world number 76. So he's a 29-year-old we're keeping an eye on. And then, you mentioned Maverick McNeely. We're both big fans of him, aren't we? Another top 10 finish. That was his 4th top 10 on the PGA Tour in the last 5 months. He turns 29 in November. Will he still be waiting for his maiden victory? It seems crazy if you followed this lad's career that he could be turning 29 without a PGA Tour win to his name. So gifted at a young age. We'll keep an eye on Maverick.
Yeah, I think he is a player that I'm just going to start backing each way every week, Steve. Just because he's always a fair price, isn't he? Because he's not a winner, but he's so often, as you've just mentioned, in the shake-up.
Yeah, I'll be staggered if he goes through his entire career without a PGA Tour win. So it's going to happen sooner rather than later, I'd say.
Right, let's get on to the livers then. And it was the LIV Golf United Kingdom. And Jon Rahm got the job done. His press conference was a bit of a weird one because I think he was sat next to Tyrrell Hatton and he was trying to console him and give it all this nonsense about teammates. Does anyone care about the teams in LIV Golf, Steve?
I don't think so. I mean, when Hatton 3-putted the last to give Rahm victory, Rahm had to do that classic not pleased face. He's really trying hard not to look pleased. Give it the really serious, don't like to win it that way face when inside he's going, thank God I finally won on
the first one.
Yeah, big relief. He missed a tiddler on the penultimate hole. He was feeling it down the stretch, fell over the line, missed a tiddler on the penultimate hole to draw level with Tyrrell Hatton. But then Tyrrell Hatton on the final hole needed to 2-putt from 65 feet. We mentioned Vegas's amazing 96-foot lag putt. Hatton needed to 2-putt from 65 feet to force a playoff with Rahm. And hit the first putt too hard, a bit left, and missed the par putt, made bogey. So the Legion 13 teammates had some difficult conversations. They've had a difficult time together lately, anyway, because they watched the England-Spain Euros final together. I found out Rahm and Hatton watched that together in wherever they were. So they've had an interesting time together. But yeah, they won the team competition as well, so a bit of consolation for Hatton. But yeah, Rahm put a new driver in he put a new driver shaft in his driver just after the USPGA, and that seems to have been a big mental breakthrough for him. A stiffer driver shaft has improved his driving, and he's gained a bit more confidence from them. But yeah, so relieved. He'd be so relieved because the fanfare when he came across to LIV Golf. Yeah, the big money signing, the best player they've ever signed, and then to go this long without winning. I think not only Rahm was relieved on Sunday, I think the LIV bigwigs were relieved as well, because he's supposed to be their main attraction, and it hadn't been happening. And he was grouchy as anything with the galleries, wasn't he? Did you follow much of
that? Oh, yes.
Yeah, him and his caddy both shouting at the galleries.
Hot mic. We'll call it hot mic. Yes. It was
hot mic. Yeah, the hot mic. Yeah, you saw the hot mic. Yeah. I mean, yeah, LIV Golf makes a big thing about more noise, fun and noise and music. But Jon Rahm hates all that. And he's been thrown in, and you've got the enthusiastic UK fans shouting all sorts. A lot of them were supporting Hatton on Sunday, obviously, an Englishman in England. And Rahm, he hates LIV Golf.
But let's not forget, Steve. I mean, he's there of his own choice, right? And he's been paid handsomely to do so. So I've not got too much sympathy for him.
No, I've got no sympathy for him. Zero sympathy. I think his arrogance got the better of him with this switch. I think he was so arrogant, and he still is pretty arrogant, that he thought he could make that move, and in making the leap would speed up the process of uniting the tours. I think he thought he could bank the massive check, but also be the catalyst for bringing everyone together. Because, if I'm going, if Big John's going, they've got to sort this out quickly. And Tiger and Patrick Cantlay and various others said, "Oh, we're not interested, John. We're quite happy as we are without you." So, I think there's a lot going on in the head of Jon Rahm, and it almost exploded again on Sunday, and Hatton let him off the hook there. If it had gone to a playoff, I think Hatton would have won. I think Rahm has got demons in his head at the moment.
You mentioned some likeable chaps among the winners this week. I'm assuming that Jon Rahm was not one of those that you'd earmarked.
He has become more unlikable in recent years, to be honest. Yeah, no, he's not the one I mentioned.
But what of him now, Steve? So he's won an event. Are we going to see? Is this going to be a catalyst for more success? He's put his bad toe behind him clearly, and he's off and running. Yeah,
his bad toe's definitely behind him. His driving is better now, which was always a key club for him. So I think he's going to improve for me. That's a huge monkey off his shoulders. Keep an eye on him. We'll obviously discuss him later because he's in the Olympics.
Right, and finally, Senior Open Championship, KJ Choi, who is a likeable chap.
Yes.
And has been an ever-present in professional golf for a number of years, and he bags a senior event success. Did you catch much of this one, Steve?
Yes, I caught a little bit of this one. Yeah, you're right. Johnny Vegas and KJ Choi, two really likeable chaps. Do a lot of good work for charity. So I was pleased as a neutral for him. I mean, he's 54 years old, Dave, so slightly outside of your seniors betting parameters. Yep. I know you like to back the 51-year-olds. Yeah, as do I. But this is a fit 54-year-old. This is a 54-year-old who's much fitter than you or I. He used to be a weightlifter, Dave. Yeah, he's a former weightlifter. He was known as the Tank when he first came onto the tour, for obvious reasons. He's an 8-time PGA Tour champion. The 2011 Players Championship was his last victory. And then Sunday's Carnoustie win was his first senior major triumph. So, I was delighted for KJ Choi. And, I was keeping an eye on this tournament, Dave, because to be honest with you, I didn't want Padraig Harrington to win because, the sitting on the hands business was so difficult because the fellow I was playing snooker with on the Wednesday night, and one of my snooker, he goes, "Oh, I assume you've backed Harrington this week," because it was all set up for, everyone knows I love Harrington. Everyone knows I was on him at Carnoustie when he won the Open there. And I think I would have found it so difficult to resist Harrington. So as soon as he brought that up, the fellow I was playing snooker with, I told him to shut up. I said, "I'm trying to sit on my hands. This is Wednesday night. I could have got involved." And I said, "I don't have a bet this week. Leave me alone." So I was pleased he didn't win, to be honest. But I feel bad for the punting. Did you back Harrington? I feel bad for the punting community.
No, I didn't get involved in the seniors. I didn't get involved in the seniors, but he wouldn't have been on my radar because, as you say, I like the 51-year-olds.
Well, he
I like that to
so well. I'm sure he would have been really well back favourite last week because he played well in the Open.
It wasn't a massive price, I don't think. No,
7-2 according to my snooker club sources. But he tied fifth with 6 other players. I think bookmakers would have been delighted with that result. He started Sunday's final round, triple bogey, double bogey, and still finished fifth. So, I was pleased, but I feel bad because I know a lot of punters lost money on that. Don't worry.
Harrington was, he was fav. 7-2. Any takeaways then from those two events, Steve, the livers and the seniors, or should we crack on?
Well, I think Wackham Neiman deserves a mention because he tied second in LIV UK there and has hardly put a foot wrong this season. He had a nightmare at the postage stamp in the Open, but generally, Wackham Neiman has been so consistent this year, and I think he's elite, and keep him on your side.
Okay, good stuff. Right, let's move on then to the Men's Olympics. Now, here we are, 4 years round again. I think it was COVID time last time this was on in Tokyo.
I think I've got COVID, Jack. I think I've got COVID at the moment. I think I've got the Adam Peaty flirt COVID. Yeah, I accidentally did my gorilla impression then, which always entertains my daughter. But that is because I've got so much COVID.
Well, go easy. You just rest up, Steve. Maybe keep in that shed and just focus on the golf. We'll get you through it. Not a problem.
That good gorilla impression?
I don't know. I thought worried it might be constipation as well as that COVID there with that face. Steve, right, talk to me about the Olympics then. Format, everything. How many runners in this field?
There's 60 runners in this field. No cut. 72-hole event. At the Albatross course, Le Golf National, France. 7,174 yards for this competition. Slightly shorter than we have it for the French Open. Par 71, 3 par 5s. Golf returned to the Olympics after a 112-year absence in 2016. That was in Brazil. Lots of players didn't bother going to that, you'll remember rightly. There was a Zika virus floating about. Right. Do you remember the old mosquitoes were deadly over there?
Well, everyone was worried about getting the inflated head, wasn't it? That was kind of one of the things that was going on.
Oh, was it? Yeah, it was all pretty unsavoury. But a lot of players used that as an excuse not to go. There wasn't that buzz about the Olympics golf competition back then. And then the 2020 Olympics in Japan was spectator-free because of COVID. So this is the first proper Olympics golf event, I'd say, with all the superstars attending, great crowds coming in to watch it. I think they're expecting 30,000 spectators a day this week. So I'm excited for this event. And Le Golf National is one of Europe's finest courses. It's been the French Open venue every year since 2002. Aside from 2020 and 2021 when there was no French Open because of COVID. Le Golf National has also hosted the Ryder Cup 2018. Fairways undulating, lots of healthy rough lining them, loads of water hazards. Yeah, this is a layout which demands tee to green accuracy. And the weather is set fair, Dave. Yeah, fantastic event. Sunny, warm and calm. Temperatures peaking at 28°C.
Yeah, and if you want to go, last week there were still tickets available. A friend of mine's gone out there. It's very accessible, shall we say. So big crowds expected if you can get over there. I was going to say to you, Steve, about off the tee, because what I can just remember is this is not a course where you're going to be getting the big dog out too many times.
No, you won't need the big dog very often. Just get the ball on the fairway and then you'll have these really tough approach shots to well-guarded, extremely well-guarded greens. It's really difficult. You might need to buy a ticket to watch it though. That's my main concern at the moment. I'm confident I've got the winner, but can I watch the winner lift the gold medal? Lift the gold medal. Can you lift the gold medal? I suppose you can. Because we're relying on the BBC here, aren't we? BBC sporadic coverage on BBC. Yeah. BBC iPlayer. Can we get that working? You'll be struggling to get the coverage, but you get little bits and bobs here and there.
Is that the only way? There's no other way?
I think BBC iPlayer. I remember 2020, 2016. I think it was BBC iPlayer, but it was not consistent. But hopefully, 4 years of advancements, they'll actually have an option where you can just watch golf all day. But we shall see.
Shot tracker as well. I'm sure the AK Bets leaderboard will keep us up to date.
I'll ask. We'll have to ask him. Yeah, I fear not. But maybe AK's got something up his sleeve.
Right, let's talk AK then. Market. Now, the front 9 at the time of recording this are top price with AK Bets. I'll give you a show as well here because, as Steve has mentioned, it is a star-studded field. We've got Scotty Scheffler 9-2, Xander Schauffele 13-2, Rory McIlroy 17-2. Jon Rahm, 10s. Collin Morikawa, 12s. Ludwig Aberg, 14. Shane Lowry, 22s. Tommy Fleetwood, 22s. Neiman, 25s. They're all there, Steve. What a field. And who is your main selection for the gold medal?
The main selection, you're going to love this one, Dave. What are your favourites? He wasn't convincing me earlier in the year, but I've liked what I've seen in recent outings. Collin Morikawa, 12-1 with AK bets. I think Morikawa is the best prepared of the market principles. We'll go through the names above Morikawa in the betting after we've done the tips. Morikawa is 5th in the betting, the best value option in my humble opinion. There were 2 Americans at the opening ceremony, Morikawa and Wyndham Clark. There's 4 Americans in this Olympics competition. Scotty Scheffler and Xander Schauffele were absent from the opening ceremony. I think it speaks volumes. Morikawa fully focused on the task in hand, highly motivated to win an Olympic gold medal. He's played some great golf this year, Dave, without lifting any silverware. An Olympic gold medal would dramatically change how he views his 2024 campaign. And he's got a dreamy venue in Le Golf National in which to get that gold medal. Accuracy, the name of the game here, Dave, as discussed. Finding fairways, precise approaches to well-guarded greens. The punishment for errant approaches here is severe. Normally the aqua. Morikawa's laser-like irons give him such an advantage at this week's course. His lack of length relative to many of the other big names, not a serious handicap at the Golf National, especially at the height of the summer. A lot of those French Opens played in autumn. We're at the height of the summer here. Fantastic weather expected all week. It's going to dry out as the week goes on. And he's given himself the best chance to learn Le Golf National. He's got practice rounds under his belt. Like Scheffler and Schauffele, Morikawa is a course debutant, but he's the only one that's been happy to get over there early, do the necessary homework. He's finished in the top 20 in his last 10 tournaments. He was 3rd in the Masters, 4th in the USPGA, 2nd in the Memorial, 4th in the Scottish Open, 16th last time out at Troon. I was getting worried about the poor Sundays. His backers were getting demoralised by poor Sundays, but his last 3 Sunday efforts have been decent. He gave himself a good talking to after that string of bad Sundays. Him and his agent sat down and they've had a good chat about things. The last 3 I've been encouraged by. 69, 69, then a 71 at Troon. No disgrace in that. I think it's a superb each-way investment, Dave. 12-1, 5th-5 with AK bets. A great package because this is a small field with a weak underbelly. There's a lot of chaff in this, Dave, with all due respect. So, yeah, I think Team USA will win the gold medal again. And Morikawa will win his first Olympic gold. This is his second go. He finished tied 4th in the last Olympics. Do you remember that big playoff for the bronze medal? 7-man playoff for the bronze medal. It's probably in your brain there somewhere.
Somewhere, yeah. I don't. No one cares about the bronze. Come on.
Well, the 7-man playoff for bronze was so intense. It was in Japan. McIlroy was in it. Morikawa was in it, and CT Pan took the bronze medal with his lovely wife wearing the biggest hat. Bruce will tell you about it. CT Pan's wife and caddy was wearing the biggest hat in the history of the world. So yeah, you get it on the YouTube.
Okay, Morikawa then, who is a tee to green monster, and that is the attribute that we're looking for this week. He is the main selection then. How many have you got for us, Stephen? Who else?
We've got another 3, and the next best is Tom Kim, 28-1 with AK bets, who fell in love with Le Golf National on his French Open debut last year. He opened up with a spectacular 64, peppering pins. It was an incredible ball striking round. Most of his approaches were just tap-in birdies. He ended the week tied for 6th place. Like for Morikawa, Le Golf National sets up perfectly for Kim, another elite iron player, and he's slowly but surely got his A game back this year. He won the Shriners Open at the end of last year. That was his 3rd PGA Tour title. All was rosy in the world of Tom Kim. But then he lost his caddy, Joe Scovran, to Ludwig Aubert. Aubert poached Kim's caddy. And yeah, that was a hammer blow for Kim. He lost his form. He was trying out all these new caddies, couldn't find one that he really liked. And then he started working on some swing changes. Then he made the decision to play his way back into form through relentless tournament golf. His schedule was frankly ridiculous. He teed up literally every week. I think we discussed it once before. He played 9 tournaments in a row, 9 weeks in a row, which is unheard of for a top professional. But the tactic worked. I was skeptical, but it worked. 26th place in the USPGA was encouraging. Then he was 4th in the Canadian Open, 26th in the US Open. Then they had a playoff defeat to Scotty Scheffler in the Travelers Championship. So Kim has been looking elite again. He's only just turned 22. He closed with a 64 for 15th place in the Scottish Open. He had a poor set of tee times en route to missing the cut in the Open. Played a lot of golf in bad weather. I can let that miscut go. And then crucially, he's had a week off. You know, a week off must feel like a year off to Tom Kim. Thank God he's got those batteries recharged. I think he's going to come out all guns blazing for his Open debut. And one final point on Tom Kim, Dave, if I may. The South Koreans, arguably the most motivated Olympians in this competition, because if they get a medal of any kind, then they avoid the 2 years of mandatory military service. Do you remember, if you're a South Korean, you've got to do 2 years of mandatory military service. Sang-moon Bae had to do that, ruined his career. Seung Yul No had to do it, ruined his career. 2 really promising young South Koreans. It's not great if you've got to suddenly do 2 years firing rifles and polishing rifles and whatnot. They'll be desperate. The 2 South Koreans in this field will be desperate to get a medal of any kind to avoid that. So, intense preparation. I think motivation and determination is crucial this week. There's a few players taking it easy, being a bit casual about this tournament, and there's others that are super focused.
Interesting angle there. I remember the Spurs forward, Son, having to do it, of course, as well. So, yeah. Interesting motivation there. I'm not convinced that everyone is full out trying to win this event, but
no, some
will be, and I think there's an angle in there, the motivation. So that is the next best. Who else have you got for us? The price is getting bigger now?
Yes. It gets progressively bigger, and the next one is Sepp Straka, 45-1 with AK Bets. Another top-class iron player on my team this week. Accurate approaches, the key to success at the Golf Nacional. Straka equipped for the task. Took him a while to get going this year as a new father. Became a father just after Christmas. But by the Players' Championship, he was striking his ball with trademark authority. He was 16th at Sawgrass, 16th in the Masters, 5th in the Heritage, 8th at Quail Hollow, 5th at Colonial, 5th in the Memorial. He's just been rock solid from spring onwards. And I think he's going to fall in love with the Golf Nacional. He tied 22nd in the Open last time out. He's done really well in the majors the last couple of years. Belief, stature is growing in Sepp Straka. He was on a winning Ryder Cup team last year, lest we forget. 2-time PGA Tour champion. I think he can win Olympic gold. I think it's well within his compass to win Olympic gold for Austria. He finished 10th on his Olympics debut in Tokyo.
Yeah, and it would be a big medal for Austria as well, of course, wouldn't it?
Yes, I guess they're not winning many gold medals. I checked the medal table the other day, and I'm not sure.
A bit different in the Winter Olympics, but the Summer Olympics, not so many.
Indeed. No, it'd be a hero for Austria, and I think it's well within his capabilities.
And you're a big fan of it. Did you put him? He was part of the team for the Open, wasn't he?
No, he wasn't. He narrowly missed out on the Open team, but he has been a regular on the sweet spot this year. I think he's massively underrated. Yeah. He's regularly underrated player because he doesn't do anything flashy, but he's just really, really solid ball striker. And I think Le Golf Nacional, he's another one who's going to get over there early. You mentioned what a hero he'd be in Austria if he wins his gold medal. Yeah, he's not going to be taking it easy. He would have done the necessary preparation, like Morikawa, like Tom Kim, and like the next fella I'm about to get to.
Okay, good stuff. That's 3 down. Who's next then for us, Steve?
The final one is Byong Hun An, 66-1 with AK Bets. The other South Korean in attendance, perhaps even more motivated than Tom Kim, given his proud Olympian ancestry. You're going to love this, Dave. Benny Ann's
I'm ready.
Benny Ann's parents are both former Olympic athletes. They both competed in the 1988 Olympics in the table tennis, and they won a total of 3 medals, a silver and 2 bronzes, because they played singles as well as doubles. So they got a silver and 2 bronzes. His mum and dad got a silver and 2 bronzes. maybe Benny Ann can bring a gold to the family table now by winning this golf competition. He's got course experience. He finished 20th in the 2015 French Open. He has Olympics experience. He's finished 11th in the 2016 Olympics. And his game has been in fantastic fettle this year. He finished 4th in the Century in Hawaii at the start of the year, 2nd in the Sony Open, 8th at Bay Hill, 16th in the Masters, 4th in the Byron Nelson, 3rd at Quail Hollow, just consistently hitting his ball well, putting nicely with the broom handle. Putting used to be a huge bugbear for Benny Ann, but he's enjoying his putting with the broom handle now. 13th in the Open last time out. A really brilliant pre-Olympics tonic, that confidence booster at the right time. He's had his best Masters finish ever this year. He's had his best Open finish ever this year. This is a 32-year-old, I would say, is at the peak of his powers. Another fantastic each-way bet for Le Golf National.
And motivation there as well, of course. But what a heritage there, dynasty in the family of hand-eye coordination and the Olympics. Wonderful.
That's it. Yeah, he'd probably have half a chance in the table tennis, wouldn't he? But he's going to be focused on the. He's going to be focused on the golf.
Right, so that completes the team, right? That completes
the team.
Good stuff. Right, it is a star-studded field. I will be trying to watch this, Steve, just purely because of the names on show here. It's a great course and it's a great field. Let's spin through some of the runners there. Now, 9-2, the Chef. You don't fancy the Chef to cook this week, no?
Well, the putting demons returned at Royal Troon, didn't they? He missed a couple of tiddlers at Royal Troon, putted really badly. He'll be devastated to have performed that badly on the open greens after that putting resurgence, won all these titles. He skipped the opening ceremony, as I mentioned. He's been treating this trip as like a family vacation. His wife and son are both with him. His newborn son. They were strolling around an art gallery the other day. They're based 2 hours from Paris. They've gone to a fancy resort where John Terry is also hanging out, the former England centre half. John Terry was posing for pictures on Instagram the other day with Scotty Scheffler. So they're at this fancy resort a long way from the actual venue. Seems a very low-key prep from Scheffler. It's his course debut, and he hasn't seemed overly keen to learn the course before tee-off. So I think there's reasons for avoiding 9-2.
Am I right thinking that none of the US reps here played in the Ryder Cup team? Is that right? I'm sure I read that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's a few European Ryder Cuppers here that played in that. I mean, Alex Noren needs mention. He's been very popular in the market. He's sort of got to an unbackable price, which is why I'm not on Alex Noren. The market was very quick to latch onto him. Play well in that 2018 Ryder Cup, has won at Le Golf National. Alex Noren will be a very popular winner this week with the punting community, but he hasn't won for ages. I'm going for players that are in their peak. I don't think you could argue that Alex Noren is in his absolute peak.
And not the Chef either. I'm sure he ranked 68, I think, in putting in the Open as well, which is given, that he was up there at one point. To be ranked in the 60s is just mad. And is that in parked for you for a while now, Steve?
Well, we thought the putting problems were behind him. After he won the Masters, one of the first people he went up to was Phil Kenyon, who'd helped him solve his putting problems. He leapt into Phil Kenyon's arms, or no, the other way around. I think he picked up Phil Kenyon like a gorilla. I'm going to do my gorilla impression again in a minute. Scheffler picked up Phil Kenyon, only a little fella, and he was so elated that the putting problem seemed behind him, and then he's had that spell of consistent putting. So I don't know about parking him. He might get his confidence back. All it needs is a good putting week and he'll have his confidence back on it. But I don't think it's going to happen this week. And of course, he's never played before, so I can definitely avoid the favourite.
Yeah, I think you have got. Given the prices he's going to be going off, you just got to park him for a while, I think. Right, Xander Schauffele then is your man. He's I suppose, the defending champion, isn't he? Because he bagged the gold 4 years ago. What are your thoughts on him?
I haven't spent much of me double winnings, but I have got that as my new phone.
Beautiful.
That's glorious, isn't it? So obviously, Xander Schauffele, I'm in love with Xander Schauffele. Obviously, hugely tempting to keep some chips on the table. He is the defending champion. The course should suit him. His confidence levels are through the roof. But like Scheffler, light preparation for this event Schauffele had lots of media commitments after the Open. The champion golfer of the year has lots of media commitments after they become the champion golfer of the year. And then after all that, he went to Portugal, Dave. He's been chilling out in Portugal on a beach in Portugal, polishing his claret jug. This is another course debutant who's not come to Paris early to learn the course. So I have to do without him this week. I have to do without him.
I've got to ask you, Steve, a lot of people will come to this show because you've got your finger on the pulse, but how do you keep a track of these players? Are you all over social media? What news outlets? What's your go-to?
Yeah, I'm all over social media, but not actually, don't have a profile. I think one of my profiles is like Barry Chuckle or something, or I have all these random accounts just to give me access to everything. I keep my eye on everything. I mean, John Terry posing for pictures with Scotty Scheffler 2 hours from the course was a bit of an eye-opener. And then I heard these reports that he'd been strolling around Le Louvre. How'd you spell that? Le Louvre. The famous art gallery and wherever. So Scheffler's not been taking it seriously. And then Schauffele, Schauffele's been in Portugal, just relaxing on the beach, which is fair enough. But if this is a course you don't know, you need to get to know it. And Colin Morikawa is taking it seriously. He's over there for the opening ceremony and he's practicing on the course ever since.
Okay, right. Next one in the market, 17-2, is Rory McIlroy, who I've seen practicing at St Andrews. Yeah,
my word. Yeah, you have seen practicing at St Andrews. I mean, McIlroy has got more course experience than Scheffler and Schauffele, but it's old course experience. He last played the French Open in 2016. And in the Ryder Cup, he wasn't that good. He won 2 points from 5 matches in the 2018 Ryder Cup at the Golf Nacional, lost his singles match to Justin Thomas. And you made a key point earlier, Dave, that driver is not really a key club this week. That's McIlroy's most potent weapon, isn't it? It's been sort of neutered somewhat this week. And where's his head at after the Open debacle? I mean, the last 2 majors have left massive mental scars on McIlroy for me. Pinehurst was obviously a catastrophe. The Open was similarly bad. And as you say, playing at St Andrews for fun. He was playing with Tom McKibbin's agent for fun on a breezy St Andrews on the Monday of Olympics week. I mean, why? That's terrible preparation for me. Totally different type of golf that he's going to face this week. I haven't got enough faith in McIlroy to play at 17-2. That's for sure.
Okay, Jon Rahm. We spoke about Jon Rahm a little bit earlier on. He's 10-1.
Olympics debut. I don't think competing last week was helpful. I want that perfect combination of motivation, determination, and energy levels high. Jon Rahm has gone LIV Golf Andalucía, Open Championship, LIV United Kingdom Olympics. So 4th week on the spin. I think he'd probably a little bit jaded, and he didn't play well in that 2018 Ryder Cup. He got his first point in the singles when he beat Tiger Woods, but up to that point he was rubbish. There's not enough for Jon Rahm for me. So preparation wise, those names above Morikawa, they're not convincing me preparation wise, whereas Morikawa, spot on.
Right, what about, we've got a few of the Europeans here, Ludwig Aberg, Shane Lowry, Tommy Fleetwood, the Hov. What are your thoughts on those guys?
Ludwig Aberg, the Scottish Open final round implosion is fresh in the memory. Missed the cut in the Open. That knee issue, just a lingering concern in my brain, doesn't get down to the putts like he normally would. So I can live without Ludwig on his Olympics debut. Tommy Fleetwood, patchy course record. I mean, a lot of people will be backing Fleetwood because they remember the 2018 Ryder Cup where he won 4 points from 5 matches, but 4 of those points were alongside Francesco Molinari. He had that bromance with Francesco Molinari, but then Fleetwood got thrashed in the singles against Tony Finau. And in the French Open, Fleetwood is a former French Open champion. So again, you're thinking, blimey, he's made for this course, but that's the only time he's made the cut in the French Open. His French Open record is terrible aside from the victory. So I can do without Fleetwood. As I say, Alex Noren was the only other one I was close to having, and I'll be devastated if Alex Noren wins. But I want to have proper each way stakes on my 4.
Right, one more I just want to chuck at you randomly. I was having a look at, Steve, is Bjorn Olesen.
Yeah. Yeah, likes the
What are your
track,
thoughts on him?
likes the track. Healthy price. He's a healthy price. I can't put you off a big price one like that. And I'll be pleased for you if he wins. If I don't win, I hope you win, Dave. But as I say, if you want a fifth, I'd go for Alex Noren. But and Shubhankar Sharma, if you want a big outsider, Shubhankar Sharma's been playing some nice golf, and he likes this course. I could see him filling a place. But you can't back them all. You can't
Exactly that. You can't back them all. 4 is plenty. Good stuff there. Right, give it to us then, Steve. Give us the breakdown of the team this week.
Colin Morikawa, Tom Kim, Sepp Straka, Byung Hun An.
Lovely stuff. Right, the kids are off. What are you up to, Steve? You've only got one golf tournament to keep on top on, so you've got time. What's the plans?
The kids are off. I'm in sole custody of the kids at the moment. The wife's gone to work. I told them they can't come in the work shed for an hour. So my plan at the moment is to cool down. There's something wrong with me. I don't know what it is, but I think it might be the old flirt, the flirt COVID. But it's a funny name, isn't it? But I'm absolutely buzzing. Obviously, nothing can stop me at the moment. We're looking for 4 winning weeks in a row, I believe. And long may it continue. Yeah, I think this time next year, Rodney, we'll be millionaires.
Let's hope so. Give me that your approach again, then, Steve. I like that. This that's what you should have on the wall. Was it preparation, determination, and energy levels?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think this week it's particularly important that you have those 3 things because, as you say, there's a lot of players just all sort of relaxed. It's a little bit of fun. And then there's other players like this is the be all and end all. And you might see that ferocity. You see that ferocity before the tournament starts on the practice ground. You're learning the course, and then you'll see that ferocity during the tournament. And it can only ever become a negative in the closing stages when it perhaps means so much. These South Koreans, you'll see tears of joy if one of the South Koreans wins. So it only becomes a negative late on. But if you're backing these players each way, I'm really confident I'm going to have at least one in the mix come Sunday. But gamble responsibly. I can see that about to come out of your mouth.
Well, listen, let's have fun, enjoy it. Tears of joy and tears that they're not having to polish rifles. According to you, that's the motivation.
So that's a horrible switch in lifestyle, isn't it? From being a pampered PGA Tour professional to that for 2 years, and it has ruined two promising Korean golfers. And I think I'll be crying tears of joy if one of the Koreans wins on Sunday.
Okay, right. We've not previewed the women's Olympic golf. Why is that?
Well, that takes place next week. So we'll cast our mind to that next week. You've got to take each week as it comes, Dave.
Exactly that. 2-pronged attack next week, the women's and the Wyndham Championship. Myself and Steve will be back next week. Hopefully you are playing up winnings, enjoying from Steve's last double a couple of weeks ago. Just the one tournament to get stuck into. So bet responsibly, enjoy it. Try and find it somewhere, wherever you can watch it. Enjoy the golf, and we'll see you next time.